Okay. Madam Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're going to begin with your first 5 registered speakers, and for the record, the meeting was called to order at 9:11. Your speakers are Chantal Arashband, William Nguyen, Regina Imburgia, Raylene Stewart, and Marvin Crenshaw. I will first recite the speaker guidelines. Speakers must observe the same rules of propriety, decorum, and good conduct applicable to members of the City Council. Any speaker making personal, impertinent, profane, or slanderous remarks will be removed from the session of the meeting. Individuals are allowed 3 minutes to speak. You'll notice the timer at the podium. Please stay to your 3 minutes. State your name and address for the record and address your comments to Mayor Rawlings. If you have handouts, we recommend that you go ahead and distribute them to our officers so that it can be distributed to the City Council. If you have a video presentation, please be aware that the setup does affect the speaking time. Again, your first speaker is Chantal Arashband.
My name is Chantal Arashband. My address is 9306 Clearwater Drive, Dallas. I live in the 10th District. An open records request for Councilman Callahan's emails was requested, and from that we we requested Councilman Callahan's emails.
Come down. I've listened to his radio show over the years, but this really isn't about beneficial nematodes or Garrett juice that he talks about on the radio. This is really about hard science, and I just candidly and very respectfully think that Howard's out of his league on that subject. I have received emails from over 200 dental organizations, American Medical Society, scientific groups.
William Nguyen.
Okay. Thank you.
William Nguyen.
Good morning,
I
Mr.
know
Mayor,
the CDC recognizes
City
it as one of
Council.
the top 10
My
public
name
health.
is William Wynn. I live at 5045 Forest Lane Circle, Dallas, Texas. That's in District 13, which is Jennifer Starbuck Gates District. Here's a 3-minute video for you.
I know the CDC recognizes it as one of the top 10 public health initiatives.
Thank you. Your next, your next, your next speaker, Regina Imburgia. Ms. Imburgia will be followed by Raylene Stewart and Marvin Crenshaw.
Mike's off.
It's on. They're, Ms. Imburgia, they're adjusting the volume. Ms. Imburgia, if you would test it now, please.
try it? Ah, that works. That works big time. Okay. I guess my time is starting. You tell me when it's starting. My name's Regina Ambrosia, and I'm in Philip Kingston's district, 14. Okay. Well, in these two videos here, we noticed a few things. Number one, right before Howard Garrett was ready to talk, Ms. Grayson and the city manager are standing up behind, over there talking to each other. When I started coming to city council, one of the frustrating things to the people is the lack of decorum there is on the horseshoe. People are eating, talking. These two here are always talking to each other on your cell phones. It's recorded. We have it. It's on the beginning of the thing. Howard Garrett was ready to come bring you some important information about a vote you guys were going to be taking. You guys spend a lot of time talking about sign name changes on streets, which is good. But that's something that's going to even cost money. This is something about health. This is very important about the fluoride level being raised in our water by hydrofluorosilicic acid. And for the rest of my thing, I'm going to say poison. Because it is a poison. Because a poison is a substance that causes injury, illness, or death. Or death. It doesn't have to cause death to be a poison. Okay? Now, as we speak right now, on Monday I did something very different. I never did this before. I sued the 13 of you personally that voted to put the fluoride in the water. Medrano and Cadane did not get that. Okay? You all have folders I handed out. I was going to hand you a copy, because I made copies of them, not officially serving you, but just so you could read it ahead. I met the process server in the parking lot this morning. I didn't go through the court one because it was $80 a person, and I had to find a better deal. So I got a guy that would serve you all for $250. Okay? He has given the information to the city lawyer, okay, attorney, I guess you call it. Woohoo! The attorney. And the way the procedure is, that's official. So it'll be handed to you guys. I said, are they going to, ignore it? Are they going to, refuse it? And he said, no, I don't think they will. And I hope you don't. Because this is in JP court. And this is for the people, and hopefully they will listen. You're poisoning my water. You're poisoning all of our water. And there's no need to do it. We have 0.5 parts fluoride in the water. For the people that believe fluoride helps you, you got enough. You're adding a toxin that has contaminants in it. You were given a lot of information. Some of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about here was the decorum of the council. I called and said, who do I talk to about that? And they said, the city manager. Well, guess what? The city manager is the one that comes and talks to you guys while we have our 3 minutes. When I first started coming here, people had 4 times a month to come. Now we got 3 minutes to talk to you guys. And in all the time I've been here, 1 time did I request more time. You guys, I even saw Griggs the other day talking in the horseshoe. How come his microphone didn't get turned off and police come over to take him away or something? I am here and I'm very passionate. This is not going away. Hydrofluorosilicic acid should not be being put in our water. You guys had more, and I have 2 Newsweek articles. This is new studies since January 28th that came out. This is in Newsweek. One about thyroid disorder and the other about ADHD. Now, the thing of it is, you say cavities, it's saving money for cavities. What are the costs of these?
Okay, your time is up.
Time is
Thank
up.
you.
Time is up. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, come on. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Next speaker.
Okay, we're going to test the main microphone real quick.
Testing, mic
Thank
check,
you.
mic check, testing, 1, 2.
Thank you. Your next speaker, Raylene Stewart.
Good morning. My name is Raylene Stewart, and I'm in Council District number 11.
Hello, my name is Dr. Robin Bramsick, DDSMS, and I'm a dentist in Heath, Texas. Mayor Rollins and Dallas City Council, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to explain to you why I oppose water fluoridation. I do not Hello, my name is Dr. Robin Abrancic, DDSMS, and I'm a dentist in Heath, Texas. Mayor Rollins.
Fluoridation is not safe and effective. This local dentist was one of many that appealed to you to not purchase the hydrofluorosilicic acid. You ignored science, you ignored the voice of the people, and you ignored an opportunity to do something good for Dallas. A vote of 8 could have stopped this dangerous program. 9 of you can turn this around. Stop fluoridation in Dallas. Thank you.
Your next speaker is Marvin Crenshaw. Mr. Crenshaw makes the final speaker this morning.
Good morning, Marvin Crenshaw, 5134 Malcolm X Boulevard. And I'm not here to play no games with nobody. But I'm also here to talk about BDS. That's boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel. I'm going to give you a little historic perspective. In 1988, I had written a letter to the editor to the defunct Dallas Times-Herald, in which at that time they were talking about the peace process in the Middle East. And I had written a letter and stated that Yasser Arafat and the Palestinian Liberation Organization should be involved in any talks as far as the peace process is concerned. The same, and I use the analogy to some people the same way that Roy Williams and myself were involved in a lawsuit on 14-1, and there were people who did not want us to be involved in the negotiations. A good friend of mine received a call the next day where they were calling me Hitler and everything else because of that position. In 1991, and under the first election under 14-1, I made it to the runoff in District 4. In which I was lost in that race. But I was able to find out later that even though Tom Parkins, who was the Republican Party chair at that time, he was writing letters for the Dallas Times-Herald, supported me. The Democratic Party supported me. But there was something that happened that Sandy Crest and Adeline Harrison started a movement and stated, and the question was posed, who do we want, the communists or the anti-Semites? And they started a campaign against me in that, it was just Harrison, to her credit, did on another issue, came back and said, I never thought I'd say thank God for Marvin Crenshaw, but I did that. Over the years, I've been active in that. In 2003, there was a group of us that came before the Dallas City Council and requested, well, let me say this. I was in the mayor's race when Ron Kirk resigned. I spoke at the American Jewish Center, and I stated if I was elected mayor, I was running for mayor at that time, that I would call for peace, or establish a committee for peace in the Middle East, in which some people say, hurry up and get out of here, and all of this, a lot of other things. But as I was leaving out, there were some women along the wall who said, Mr. Crenshaw, we support you in what you're saying. But there was a group of us that came down before the Dallas City Council and requested that the council passed a resolution supporting a two-state solution in the Middle East between the Palestinians and Israel. That never passed, but there was a whole lot of repercussions behind that. If any of you are following global news now, you'll know what happened as far as the election that happened on March 17th in Israel. And the repercussions as far as even that Israel spied, and it's in the paper this morning in the Wall Street Journal, Israel spied on the negotiations with Iran. And Boehner is now talking about he's so baffled, and he was the one that invited Netanyahu. Well, anyway, I'm going to say this, and it's not going to end here, is that BDS, that's boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel. And one more thing in part, 25 seconds. One more, they said overtime 20. But they said the same thing when we were doing with South Africa, that we couldn't do anything, and we're going to do it right here, and the whole world, and even in the Jewish community.
Thank you.